In the early days when they first struck oil out on the Alberta plains, Turner Valley Rush and the oil camp dust, derricks on the foothills range, old men sitting in a tar paper shack talking about making it big, holes in the ground and a pipe going down, drilling on a cable tool rig. I come from a long line of storytellers. My grandfather was a great storyteller and my father was a great storyteller, and that's what I was always drawn to, was the storytelling aspect of music. And so that naturally kind of drew me towards the country and folk kind of music. This is the best place to be a country singer, as far as I'm concerned. This is where this is the Rocky Mountain West, where cowboy and country music belong. Up to Calgary, there's oil in the air, light in the night from the burning of the flares. Stocks are selling and the hammers ring. This is gonna be the next big thing. And the big calculators and the land speculators and the bold tycoon attitude. And the gold they found was the oil in the ground, the story of the Alberta Crude. I moved to Calgary specifically to pursue music, and I kind of figured, you want to be a big country star, you move to Nashville, Tennessee. You want to be a Canadian cowboy singer, you go to Calgary, with the Stampede City and everything. And I think it's, I've always said, if you can't make a living playing country music in Alberta, then you can't make a living playing country music in Canada. The search for oil is a difficult thing, fortunes made and lost. The pull is strong on a wildcat song, Drayton Valley oil rig boss. Imperial oil, they drilled and drilled, and every single hole was dry. They pointed to a spot on the map, and LeDuc said, I give it just a one more try. The thing about Alberta that inspires me as a songwriter is the, I guess you would call it the geography of the Rocky Mountain West and the whole mythology that goes with it. You know, it's very recently settled here, basically. If you just go back a few generations, 120 years ago, the buffalo herds were roaming right down Stephen Avenue. And all of the, I've always been fascinated by the frontier, you know. I like the frontier, I like the cattle culture, the cowboy culture, and of course some of my favorite singers, Ian Tyson was a big inspiration to me, and he's kind of synonymous with the Rocky Mountain West. So I'm proud to kind of follow in that tradition. Black crude oil, it'll pay the rent where they got all hell for a basement. And the devil himself has a story to tell about Redwater days, Pembina wells. There's a downwind breeze from the refineries and the pipelines flowing fast. That's the whole deal with the oil fields and the history of the oil patch. I've played most everywhere you can play in Alberta, from the biggest festivals, from Big Valley Jamboree and the folk festivals, all the way to all the small town rodeos and community halls, saloons, tractor pulls. I've played in welding shops, I've played several gopher hunting derbies. Pretty much learned my trade in the barrooms of Alberta. I've played every small town there is in Alberta, and years ago I had a theory I was going to kind of build my career on that. I was going to go and play every place where no one else would play, and that's taken me to every corner of the province. I've played a lot of places you never even heard of, and I've played them multiple times, and over time it's gotten to be like that, where sometimes we're the only show that ever comes through. I do recall one time playing a little bar on the Saskatchewan border, and asking them, we did pretty good. We took the first break, and I asked the bar owner, you probably don't have a lot of original music in here, right? What do you usually get, cover bands or stuff? And he told me, well, you're the first you're the first musician I've ever had here, and the previous owner had the saloon for 7 years, and I don't think he ever had entertainment. So you can see we do play some places that are I guess you could say I'm influenced by that pioneer spirit, and I've kind of taken my own show and kind of troubadour career out there like that. I've been to every corner of the province, and I've had a beer with almost everybody, that you could meet along the way, sort of thing. And I'm very proud to be a part of it. Through the long long, hard years of dry hole drilling, heartbreak, dreams, and toil. The boom and the bust and the thrill and the rush and a billion barrels of oil. Where the iron rigs and the steel tools fought the battle for the fossil fuels. Badlands, tar sands, all of the rest, that is the story of the oil out west.